You're live. Wow. Okay, there you go. It seemed like it was a little bit dim, but we're live. This room. We got a room and a roof. That's all it's about. That is so true. One of the healthiest things you can do is be happy. In your mind, in your body, in your spirit, and overall your fitness. That's going to be our topic tonight, y'all. We're going to be talking about health in the Black community.
Yes.
Some dynamic things that are out there when it comes to health in the Black community, both for Black women and Black men. Our youth, our elders, it's overall important.
Yes, it's a new day, y'all. Yes, new day.
It is Super Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, we came from watching a little bit of Aquaman. Drink your water.
Drink your water.
That's all I can say.
Oh my goodness.
If you ain't drinking your water, you won't be like Aquaman. At least 4 to 8 ounce glasses of water a day.
Well,
Makes
y'all.
The body good.
We want to start out by saying Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
First Sunday of the new year.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
2019.
2019, y'all.
House. It's actually.
We're doing it. We're in it.
We got a lot to do. I mean, it's a lot for us to do.
Yes.
It's a lot to be grateful for. It's a lot to be thankful for.
Yes.
I'm thankful for my beautiful wife, Miyaka
I am
Anderson.
Thankful for my husband. And, I truly am. My rock.
We be doing these things.
We're doing it, y'all. We're doing it. And we are so happy that we made it in over that threshold to 2019. A lot of people were not able to see this year. We lost a lot of people.
Yes, we did.
We even lost a lot of people. The New Year's Eve people didn't make it into 2019. So we are really blessed to be here.
And we are excited and ecstatic. But first and foremost, I must say this.
What you got to say?
Welcome to the Tea.
I'm
your host, Chauncey Anderson.
And I'm your co-host, Miyaka Anderson.
Bring it in. Again, like we were saying earlier, it is our pleasure. You know, and like I say again, we hope that 2019 for all of you, first and foremost, bring all those things that you desire, you want, you must have, you need into fruition.
That's right.
But we're going to start off this 2019. This first session for us is going to be, we're going to deal with health.
With health,
in the Black community, because above all, health is a very important topic. It stems from the babies being born to our elders.
And everybody in between.
Oh, that whole
everybody in between. We want you guys to be conscious of what's going on with your bodies, with your mind, and with your spirit, so that you will be able to make it into the next new year that we have.
Yes, indeed.
So,
because I mean, it gravitates. I mean, if you look at it in the studies that are being done overall, their senses and everything like that.
Yes.
First and for a lot of us and for our community, a lot of us have always known certain things, especially our ancestors, a lot of things that we needed to help take care of ourselves.
Yes.
To better ourselves. That'd be men, women, for our youth, with the changing of seasons, from wintertime to springtime, summer, and into the fall. We always seem to be able to adapt to it. We may not have had all the finances, all of the top health, medical attention that can be given. I mean, it seems like, I remember when I was growing up, we had doctor that saw the entire community.
Isn't that something? And that's true for a lot of towns around the United States. They had that one doctor, and that one doctor treated everybody.
And he knew he wasn't a specialist.
Right.
He knew from your head, top of your head, all the way down to your toes.
Right.
Whatever those ailments were, that doctor. I mean, I remember just growing up in Los Angeles. I believe his name was Dr. Trotter.
Wow.
And Dr. Trotter was the man. And all you did, you went up the hill, took a left, went over to his clinic, and he would see you, treat you, take care of all of your needs.
Wow.
And I mean, I remember him from a youth all the way till I graduated high school, getting ready to go in the military. He was there, the physician for our family.
Wow.
And it was something, when you're much younger, sometimes you just went to, if you didn't have a doctor, you felt some kind of way, you had your grandparents, you had your parents that had knowledge of certain ailments and what they were, and what was treated and what was needed. Or you would end up going to see Miss Jenkins, next door neighbor, down the way, and they would,
the one that knew all,
truly
could heal all, pray for all.
It would be something
she
that
had
you
that power.
Want.
Yes,
it was absolutely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But here in 2019 and even 2018, as Maya alluded to earlier, this is much more health, talking about for your mind, for your spirit, for your body, we want to look at all of those,
because we're putting in a lot of things into our mind, our body, and into our spirit that is not feeding us things that we need.
Right.
And so it's bogging us down. It's slowing us down. Our mental aptitude is not very well. Us dealing with other people, or even just dealing with yourself on the inside. Yeah. You're not doing it in a healthy way. And that's because of the environments around you. And sometimes it's also the people that you surround yourself with that also takes energy from you and bogs you down.
And that's so true. It could cause, all sorts of, you may just feel like you're going like 100,
right?
And then within the next day, depending on what your situation is, who you hanging around with, who you involve yourself with,
right?
Your immune system, your body, just slowly
starts to go down,
deteriorates.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feeling. Some things that are in Western society are not necessarily meant for African Americans.
Yes, a lot of things we're taking.
Though we live in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely not of it, because
we're not of it.
Western culture,
yes,
and some things that they partake in and they get involved with,
we ain't got no business doing.
For our bodies, it's not good for our minds, it's not good for our spirits,
right?
First and foremost, from a spiritual standpoint, us being a spiritual people, we need to do our research. We need to take care of knowing who we are as a people, as a community, and how our ancestors before slavery. Used to chart the stars, used to know the foods that we could eat, the plant-based, all that. We didn't get all caught up into a lot of these greasy foods, these fried foods. And I'm still guilty to a certain extent, but you move away, because these animals were not meant to be eaten. Yes. I truly believe in my heart of hearts.
Right.
They were here for a purpose. They were here for a reason, and they gave us. Sometimes they showed us what was the right things to do. They helped us along. They weren't meant to be killed and destroyed and then left out there. And so that's just speaking from a spiritual standpoint. Take time to meditate. It's another thing. Sometimes we always pray. Pray over our food. Some people just pray over the food. Don't pray over what you're drinking.
Right.
You might want to pray over what you're drinking also, especially with all the fluoride and all the chemicals
and the minerals that are in there.
Into today's
in
water
our drinks,
system. Oh my God.
And it's not even just water. No, it's anything that we're drinking now, really.
Yes.
You really just can't trust what you're eating unless you're growing it yourself. And depending on even where you're getting your seeds from to grow things, you have to be very cognizant about where you're getting them from and how they are splicing or dealing with the seeds that you are gathering to even put and grow into your own garden. It's just a lot going on out there with our foods, a lot that's going on with medications, that they're giving you. And that's one thing that, being a healthcare worker and working in the emergency department,
industry.
There are, when it comes to pain, there are good uses for some of that medication, depending on what's going on with you. Right. But overall, all of those medications were originated from plants. Now plants and some animals and some insects. Right. So they go out to the far reaches of the earth to find certain plants and certain things that have properties that can help us heal. But the thing is, when they take it into the lab, they add all kinds of other stuff on there.
Chemicals, all sorts of.
That's not supposed to be ingested by our bodies. Right. Now, and so that's where the problem comes in.
And excuse me, babe. Now, if it affects an animal, And he or she, that living organism, is affected badly.
Right.
Next thing you know, you sitting at home and you hurt, and then you see a commercial. I ain't gonna say the name of some of these
all these commercials
before, but if you sit and you listen to what they say the side effects may be, or they say look in your daily journal or your newspaper, we got a full-blown ad, and you read some of the side effects. Why would I want to even put that into my system? If I know that it could cause even more damage. Outside of what it's trying to heal.
Think about whatever you're trying to heal. You're trying to get away from that side effect, but you don't want another side effect. So then you go in and you say, this pill worked. It got rid of whatever it was. But now I'm dealing with this. And what do? They don't ask any questions. They're just like, oh, okay. Because they know that you have that. You have that potential of getting that. And so they have the next great pill to help you with that side effect. And these medications not only mess with your body, but a lot of them start to mess with your mind. And that is very dangerous when you start looking into things. They do start to mess with your mind. So, I caution you to ask questions. And if you have a physician that you go to and you have an ailment, his first answer shouldn't be, well, I'll put you on this pill. They should be trying to find the root of the problem. What could be causing this? What are you eating? What are you doing? Are you stressed out? And then trying to alleviate things that way. If their first answer is, let me just write you a script and we can get rid of that. I'm not saying don't stop going to the doctor, but I want you to do your research.
Evaluate
and find out why is it always a pill that's given when some things is as simple as cutting back on something or adding something that's natural to your diet or just plain getting out and exercising.
Well, and that's the number one thing right there. Sometimes that we look for a quick fix to a problem that has been with you for years. We want like this. We're instantaneous society. This technological facet society, 21st century society that we're in now. Everything pops up instantly. Everything shows up instantly. Everybody tells you take this or do that. You'll get all this, that, and the other. But if you took the time out to do the research, first and foremost, we started out with the spirit. So that way of sitting down and taking a moment instead of being glued to a TV program or glued to a show or something
rushing
else,
here, rushing there,
just take the time out to calm your spirit.
And check in with yourself.
And that's what I was, boom, you hit the nail on the head.
Check in with yourself.
It's your body. It's your physical body. It's your mind. It's your spirit, your soul. That's all you.
That's all you.
Can't nobody do Chauncey like Chauncey. If I take that time out to calm this body and to listen and draw within, to hear the heartbeat, to listen for, make sure your ears are going, functioning right, your eyes and how that is happening, all your joints, your muscles. Those are things that we tend not to even
take those for granted.
We truly do because we expect for them to be automatic.
Automatic, running.
They are. Our Creator has endowed us with this great physical body, and the way that it operates on like an auto type basis.
Just without you even thinking about it.
Outside
it knows what to do.
We get up, we know, when you got to go to the bathroom, when you got to do this, when you need to blow your nose, when you need to brush it. We know all these, but these things are always, our immune system, our nervous system is always engaging with anything, with us, or anything that comes into us foreign. Oh, we got an army that will kick all of the armies combined in this world. If these are cells that are in our body could come out and show us what they do in battle with inside of us, our immune system, man.
And it is pretty awesome. Your body can, the body does some things that amazes doctors that they can't even explain a lot of things that go on. You could have blockages in your heart and your heart can make a new pathway. So that it can get the nutrients and the oxygen that it needs. So your body, And on top of that, taking all the garbage, you're feeding it. Right. And it's still working at Pushing its highest level, trying to get you, to live this life. It's working overtime. And instead of you appreciating what you have, we're killing ourselves by the food we eat, by what we're drinking, by the pills we take, all of that. And we make it harder. And yet and still, this body still trudges on. It truly is remarkable.
And we just want our society, like we were just going to say, we want what took over years from that small infant all the way up to that point that you have that problem. Unless you a baby and you got certain ailments,
right?
Then you grow into adulthood, and then without even thinking about it, you just rushing into the doctor and say, give me something to take so I can just get up.
So I can just keep going and keep pushing.
You're doing yourself a disservice. Yes. You are not a robot. You're not a machine. That's you don't get plugged in and recharged. It ain't really a whole bunch of do-overs unless you got money and you can replace certain parts in your body. Personally, myself, once this frame right here, 51 years of age, has lived out his life, I hate for me to say it, I want to go into my creator. I want to go into that next facet in my life. I hate to have to say it that way. I believe when you're here on this earth and you've been blessed and fortunate every day to wake up in this physical body, to go out and do and to see the beauty that's in this world, from nature itself to our, out in space to, just think of anything that you can here in the water, the fish, all that. And you don't take hold of that, but you get busy about this rat race that society has put up on us, you will lose your ever-loving mind. It's something about it sometimes to sit back and to calm your spirit.
Right, definitely.
By way of prayer, meditation. Physical fitness is another thing. A lot of people get into physical fitness and they work it out and they work it out. They break the muscles down. They build them back up. Boom, 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 boom. And next thing you know, because I don't know if they plateau out or whatever, you start injecting yourself with stuff. You start taking these supplements that you think
because it's never enough when you get into that mindset.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, how much muscle do you need? You see things on TV and I think that stirs up in your head. Hulk is just cool. I like them,
that's
but
just,
I don't want to be like them.
Part of society too. They, people expect you to look a certain way, be a certain way. They're attracted to that. So people go above and beyond trying. That's for people who even do the plastic surgery to the point that they are unrecognizable.
I like this right here. You see that?
Because they feel that they're trying to please everybody else by their appearance, and that right there tells you there's a mental problem. And especially it's a mental problem, and then it ends up being a physical problem.
Especially for the Black community.
Yes.
When you going out and you bleaching your skin.
Yes.
When you getting the liposuctions and then you getting the augmentations.
Yes, of
I
the
don't
body.
care whatever it is. Men, you get pecs. Women, you get breasts. You get butts.
Yeah.
You get we got the fullest lips on the face of the planet as far as the Black community is concerned.
Right.
Can't nobody compete with our lips unless they injecting something.
That's right.
Sucking on a mayonnaise jar or whatever you want to do to make your lips bigger than these. It's the reason why we got these lips like this.
And it just goes to tell you that we have to love and accept ourselves, because if you look outside of our community, everyone is trying to be like us. We don't need to enhance anything.
Zero.
We don't have to enhance anything. Nope. Everything we got is solid. And it scares me that people are doing this and not thinking about how their bodies are going to react as they get older, because you can't stay young forever and you ain't got the money to maintain that forever.
And if you've seen how some of them people look that's been trying to maintain it,
it's really sad.
It's frightening. They look like really Frankenstein's brothers or sisters, because it's just, I only know one word that I really would say, it's just nasty.
Yeah, it
ain't doing nothing for you.
Yeah.
Because even if you do have children, when you looking like that, I remember they had an Asian couple, and this Asian dude saw this most beautiful woman on the face of the planet. So he thought. And then he married her and they had relationships and they had a child. And that child didn't look like her and didn't look like him.
So what's going on?
And that dude he went back and looked at that woman's history, and come to find out she had been cut on so much so she could find her right mate. But them genes did not lie.
The genes don't lie. They tell exactly who you are. And yes. Whatever you put in the dark will come to the light. And sometimes it don't come out the best of ways.
And if you don't like your true self,
right,
your beauty, your inner beauty,
right,
that you have been blessed with. The funniest part about the Black community, we are the most adaptable people in any climate, for whatever it's worth. I mean, we live in San Diego County in California, and sitting here sometimes when we go out to the beach, I sit there and I marvel because I see thousands of cultures and groups of people.
Yes.
Laying out on the sun, sprinkling SPF on all over their body. These are the younger people.
Sun-kissed skin that we are so blessed and gifted with. This
melanin skin, that's beautiful. But the funniest part is then as they get older, here's the hilarious part.
They can't contain it.
They can't even be out in the sun. They got skin cancer. Now they wearing hats on their head, the sunglasses, and wrapping up.
They can't hold it. It does not bode well for them. So, as they get older, it just shows that the sun was not their friend. Not their best friend. Yes. And as we talk about this, I did want to bring up this one subject because I see this a lot. We got the vegan community, and we got, and especially in the Black community, and the vegetarians. And then I've seen a lot of people talk about soul food. Yes. And, and calling it slave food or whatever derogatory thing that's going, that they think it is. One thing I want to say about that is that, they had no choice but to eat what was given. Oh, come on. They eat what was given or they die. Yes. They did what they had to do to survive. And whatever they did, they taught to their children, and whatever they were given, they made it work. Yes. Nobody should have to eat pig intestines and all the different facets that went on. But they did what they had to do, and they made it work, and their bodies survived through all of that. Right. And so to down someone for, or that was slave food or whatever, that was the food that got you here. Well, and that's what I was. And so it really hurts my heart, like I understand eating healthy because I do too. And I don't really eat a lot of soul food anymore, unless it's like vegetables and stuff. But I don't think it's fair for people to go off on others about this quote unquote slave food, the food your grandmama ate, your great grandmama ate, all of them ate it, and you was here today, and most of y'all, are healthy, and you got your right minds. Right. When you know better, you do better, and when you have the money to do better, you can. And that was not the case in a lot of your situations when you look back in your culture. So thank them that they did what they could. But that's a generational aspect of it. With that respect, if you're just basically downplaying somebody or trying to tear someone down without first that generation sitting back with them and discussing that overall, how did you get through with having to eat these certain types of food? You may not eat it, or you may have tasted it once when you were a young child, and as you got older and you had the wherewithal and the ability to do better, to purchase better foods for yourself, or do some research and understand the lifestyle that our cultural should be moving in towards. You should look up on that, and you should, I would say, exercise your wisdom and that prudency that you develop when talking with those that may not be as far as the mindset is concerned, knowledgeable about it. Because we're all on certain levels, and we all aren't ready to be here. So some of us have to take small steps to get there, and they need certain things to realize what's going on. True. Some of them know what's going on, but this food, I'm telling you, this food is addictive too. So it's just like, and it's just like treating any kind of addiction, because when you get off of it, because that's all you knew. Growing up, that's all you knew. So to change that to something new and different is not easy. And then those around you aren't changing with you. So now you're stuck on an island by yourself, and everybody's still eating that. Right. And nobody wants to hear that this isn't healthy. I've been feeding this to you, girl, since you was in my womb. Ain't nothing wrong with this food. And they're right. They're right. Because everything is good in moderation. Mm-hmm. But they're not ready for that, or they're not ready to change on that. And that's okay. Accept it and move on. But to point fingers, especially in the Black community, we have too many other problems besides our eating habits to be at war with each other. Vegan versus vegetarian versus non-vegan, or meat eaters,
carnivores.
So that's my name. So yes, because I'm a vegetarian, but he eats meat. But I don't say nothing. I asked him if he wanted to do this with me.
I was yeah,
and then he didn't do it. But that's okay. I don't say, when are you gonna stop eating meat? When you're killing yourself. I
eat carrots with our Rottweiler.
He does what he can, and I let him be there. Because he has to come to that decision. I can't do that for him. So as long as you're out there being soldiers and giving out the truth, that's great. But let that seed germinate within that person. And if it grows into a beautiful flower, so be it. Yay. But if it doesn't, you don't know if it will 50 years from now or 20 years from where they're at. But just know that you're doing it in love.
Yeah. Because it's enough to go around for us all.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the fascinating part about everything that we do. As Maya said, we do things in moderation.
Yes.
Learning how to plant a garden.
Yeah.
As well as tending to some other, things as far as your spirit is concerned.
Yeah.
Your body is going to accept what your mind tells you.
That's right.
That's going to be the number one thing. Mm-hmm. If it tells it to get up and start moving in this certain kind of way, believe that's going to start happening.
And basically all health starts in the mind.
Yeah, it does.
Everything really starts in the mind. Resonates. Whatever you think, that is what is going to come forward. Yeah. So when you're doing things in your life, you need to stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? What is my mind trying to tell me? And then what have I been feeding my mind? Because whatever you've been feeding your mind, that's what you're going to start chasing after. So, even those on Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform, look at your timelines. Mm-hmm. What kind of stuff comes across your timelines? Yeah. Is it educational? Is it peaceful? Mm-hmm. Is it joyful? Does it make you laugh and smile? Does it make your body say, whoo, when you see it? Or are you stressed because you're looking at the killings? Or are you looking at the girls twerking? Are you looking at the guys with no shirt? Like, what are you feeding your mind? Because that is what you start chasing after.
And you have an appetite.
You have an appetite. Then you start liking it so much you try to be like it. Right. And it's not even you, but you want to because you see this is what is feeding you constantly. You look at TV. What are you watching? Are you watching nature shows, National Geographic, travel? Or are you watching the news constantly? Or are you watching those crazy reality shows that I don't even know how y'all do it because it stressed me out. I can't do it. I mean, it stresses me out big time. I can't do it. So you want to see what's feeding your mind because then you'll know what's feeding your body and what's feeding your spirit. Because even on TV and, they put all these commercials, McDonald's, KFC, all of that. You start to crave those things. Mm-hmm. So, the subliminal messages and the things they put out there, they know what they're doing. Right. And your mind clicks right in with it. And there you go. You have formed your whole life around
it becomes toxic things. That right there in and of itself. And so that's what I say about in 2019, the topic of health doesn't necessarily surround the physical body.
Yes.
It's a part of it. Mm-hmm. But for us, as Maya said, as of late, I've started just putting on the different types of meditation sounds, the white noise they call.
Yeah.
And I pick up a book.
Right.
Towards the evening because I want my mind to be at peace,
to just simmer down,
ease from all of the stuff
and let it
that's
go.
Going on out here. Mm-hmm. It's not that I'm not cognizant of what's going on out here. I'm very much in the know, but I get into something that I think I'm passionate for,
right?
That I have a deep love for, studying my culture and understanding and having a, kind of like, wanting to be able to give back.
Right.
In order for me to truly talk beyond this water's edge, here of the United States that we see ourselves at. This is where we at and where we come from. We don't talk about our culture past that point, but every other ethnicity uses our culture from the past.
Right.
And they use it to their benefit. I'm simply saying that I want to research and study and understand my culture past the United States.
And we want you to do the same.
Yeah,
we want you to get out there.
For that.
Number one, reevaluate yourself. Find out what's going on with you. Find out your emotions, what's attached to those emotions, what's making you feel that way. And then find out if that's something that you need to cut out of your life. And if it is, start to slowly work on that so that you can get rid of the toxicity, even if it's people. And then what you need to do once you start getting rid of that, replace it with something that's positive, that's good for your body, your spirit, and your mind. And that's how you start to change as a person and go to the next level.
Right.
And so,
I mean, we really, really, like I say again, 2019 is going to be awesome, but you have to engage. You have to be willing to play the part, your part, for yourself, in your health.
You're the main character in your life.
Spirit, mind.
How do you want to live it? How do you want to live your life?
We love you.
We do love you. Thank you for joining us.
If you look at us on here, check us out on Facebook.
We're getting ready to go live there.
Also on Instagram.
It's going to be an awesome year, y'all.
Have a great day.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye now.